Michael had never believed in fate. He believed in preparation, experience, and control. That belief had kept him alive in places where hesitation meant death. But that night, standing at the edge of the mountains, Michael understood how little control he really had. The fog rolled in fast, thick and heavy, swallowing the trees one by one. The trail behind him disappeared completely. The silence felt wrong, not calm, but watchful. Then he heard it, a sound so faint it barely existed. Not a roar, not a growl, a broken breath. Michael stopped moving. From the fog ahead, something shifted. Two eyes reflected the dim evening light. A leopard. It stood close, too close. Its body was low, muscles tight, tail frozen. Michael's instinct screamed at him to run, but he didn't. Running would trigger the chase. Leopards were built for that. They stared at each other. Seconds passed. Then Michael noticed the leg. One front paw didn't touch the ground. The fur around it was dark and matted. Blood. This leopard wasn't hunting. It was barely standing. Michael slowly raised his hands, showing he carried nothing. His heart pounded so loudly he was sure the animal could hear it. The leopard shifted, breathing unevenly but didn't attack. Instead, it made a sound again. Weak, strained, almost helpless. Michael lowered himself carefully, every movement deliberate. He had worked near wildlife before, but never this close, never this exposed. One wrong motion would end everything. "I'm not here to hurt you," he whispered, his voice barely air. The leopard's ears twitched. Michael edged closer and finally saw the truth. A steel wire snare was wrapped deep into the leopard's leg. Poachers. The wire had cut into the flesh, swelling around it. Infection had already set in. The leopard must have been trapped for days, starving, exhausted, and in pain. And somehow, it had come here. To him. Michael felt a cold knot tighten in his chest. Helping this animal could kill him. Leaving it meant certain death for the leopard. He didn't hesitate. Slowly, he reached for his backpack and pulled out his multi-tool. The leopard tensed, claws digging into the ground. Michael froze and waited. Minutes passed. Finally, the leopard lowered itself onto the earth. A decision. Michael moved in. His hands shook as he worked the tool under the wire. The metal was tight, rusted, unforgiving. The leopard flinched when he touched it, a sharp sound tearing from its throat. Michael stopped immediately. "I know," he murmured. "I know." He waited until the animal settled again, then continued. Time lost meaning. Fog curled around them, sealing them off from the world. Michael's fingers cramped, slipping once, twice. Sweat ran down his spine despite the cold. Then, a sharp snap. The tension released. The wire fell away. The leopard jerked violently, collapsing to the ground. Michael stumbled backward, heart racing, convinced the animal would strike, but it didn't. It lay still. Too still. Michael held his breath, watching. Then the leopard's chest rose. Alive. Michael cleaned the wound as best he could, wrapping it tightly, knowing it wasn't enough. But it was something. He backed away slowly, giving the animal space. The leopard stirred. With effort, it pushed itself upright. Its legs shook, but it stood. Blood seeped through the bandage, yet the wire was gone. The leopard looked at Michael, not with fear, with recognition. It turned toward the fog, took a few unsteady steps, then stopped. It looked back one last time. Their eyes met. Then the leopard disappeared into the mist. Michael stayed there long after, unable to move. Weeks later, wildlife officers dismantled a major poaching operation in the area. Dozens of snares were removed. Months passed. One of Michael's camera traps captured something unexpected. A leopard, same markings, same eyes. It stood in front of the camera perfectly still, as if it knew it was being watched. Then it turned and vanished into the forest. Some encounters aren't about power. Some aren't about fear. Sometimes, even the wild remembers who chose compassion when survival said not to. Michael never told anyone how close it really was. How one wrong breath, one sudden movement, could have ended his life. People asked about the footage, about the leopard, about the trap. He answered calmly, carefully, leaving out the part where fear and mercy collided in the fog. But some nights, when the mountains fell silent and the air felt heavy again, Michael stepped outside and listened. He didn't expect to see the leopard again. He didn't need to. Knowing it survived was enough. Because somewhere out there, moving through the same darkness that once nearly claimed it, was a living reminder of a moment when instinct said, run, and compassion said, stay. And sometimes that single choice is what changes everything.